What? Wait, I don't think they're ready for this.
These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Pull up on them and it look nice, look nice.
These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Pull up on them and it look nice, look nice.
Yeah, we look nice, future looking nice, we don't need to tell them twice.
Here comes the future.
Yeah, we look nice, future looking real nice, we don't need to tell them twice.
Here comes the future.
Cooper Stadium on a glorious Saturday night in the City of Churches. It's the FFA Cup holders versus the A-League men's champions. Where else would you rather be? This one has all the makings of an epic contest. And while Melbourne City might start the slight favourites, Adelaide United have made this a tough place for them to visit in recent years, having won each of the last 4 contests between the two here in South Australia. And that run included a 4-0 hammering of City, as you might remember, in the cup final of 2019, a night when City were supposed to come of age and finally lay to rest the accusation they were a soft touch in the big matches. They did get that monkey off their back last season, of course, but that final half hour for City against Brisbane in round 1 might just give the Reds some encouragement in tonight's quest after they got a solid point in Perth on their opening night. A crowd of around 8,000, slightly limited by COVID. Here's the team news. The Reds make one change from the side that started in Perth. Jacob Trapp starts in place of Nick Ansell in defence after the latter picked up a groin injury in that round 1 encounter. Elsewhere, it's a second home debut for Reds favourite Isaias upon his return from Al Wakra. Kusini Yengi continues to lead the attack after his goal in round 1. Mo Toure on the bench with George Blackwood still a week away from a return. The team being led by Stefan Mork, former Melbourne City player. There's the Red Army behind the goal. Way to the left there is Stefan Mork, 57 games and 9 goals in 2 spells with Melbourne City. And City line up like this. They go with the same 11 that's held off that fast-finishing Brisbane Roar last week. Nathaniel Atkinson and Rostin Griffiths, the only senior absentees from the squad. Curtis Good becomes just the 3rd player to rack up 100 matches in all competitions for City, and he'll be looking to reprise his goal-scoring contribution from last week. Ditto Connor Metcalf, who lines up for his 50th A-League men's match. Jamie McLaren, now without a goal in his last 3 games. He rarely goes 4. And Matt Leckie, of course, returns to Coopers for the first time since he wore red back in 2011. Well, you can see that stand on the far side, which is being redeveloped for the FIFA Women's World Cup. There is Scott Jamieson, 2 years an Adelaide Red, 49 games. And off we go. The game of the week on 10 is up and running. 2 teams used to competing for trophies. And a chance here to lay down an early marker and almost an early bit of miscommunication in the City defence, and they've still not got it clear. Very scrappy start by the champions. Adelaide looking to press early on, and they've won a free kick.
Wow, what a sharp start by Adelaide. Almost as sharp as the US women's team this afternoon, scoring after 24 seconds in that international. And Adelaide have taken a leaf out of that book. Ben Halloran causing all manner of nuisance. And now, without a minute elapsed in the match, Adelaide with a great chance to pressurise Melbourne City's goal.
It's going to be Isaias with one of his first touches back at Coopers. And he squares it up. It's going to be a long-range try, but it took a deflection off Mork, who might have been in offside position. It was Louis Dorigo from long range. Let's have another look at it, Andy.
Put on a tee for Dorigo by Isaias, the skipper.
How about you, Harbs? I can't help thinking about Celtic when I see this kit for Melbourne City, particularly the badge. Reminiscent of an away kit they wore a few years ago, the Glasgow Giants.
Yes, I can see what you see. Not sure the City Football Group would be happy to hear you mistaking them for Celtic, although there is a little bit of crossover there Now, of course, Ange Postecoglou coaching at Celtic.
Here's Kusini Yengi, and the deflection could have deceived Glover. In the end, it's just a corner.
He's a dangerous threat. Here's Kusini Yengi. Nice dummy from Stephen Moore. Touch taking perhaps a little wide. The angle always difficult. Of course, just to finish that point very quickly, rather than leave it hanging, Ange Postecoglou leaving Yokohama F. Marinos, which is part owned by the City Football Group.
Halloran's corner and off traps and behind.
To go to Celtic. So that point's done. Thank you. Tied up. On we go.
Similarly, City have Stefan Kolakowski, Marco Tilio. Great depth for both teams. Now they're onside here, and the boot is away. McLaren in the middle. It's Jamie McLaren. He wasn't going to miss that, was he? He's finally broken his Coopers Stadium curse, and 3 games without a goal in the A-League men's competition comes to an end. You simply cannot contain the triple Golden Boot winner for long. Melbourne City 1-0.
Well, so much power from Melbourne City on the Harvey Norman replay. The boot's been threatening. Great first touch. Perfect roll across the goal square. And into the 6-yard box comes the ultimate Australian poacher, Jamie McLaren, to make it 1-0 for Melbourne City.
Well, the haircut's worked. They've used that ball to really good effect in this first half, City. Angled out towards that right-hand side where they've found Leckie. Now it's Berenguer. The boot at the back post. Oh, and he was only a whisker away. Good intervention by Javi Lopez. But nicely constructed again by City.
No, very good, but they need to adjust on the left side, Adelaide. I mean, this diagonal ball has been all night when at Melbourne City have had the ball, and Josh Cavallo hasn't adjusted. His central defender hasn't worked with him well enough. Berenguer on this occasion down, and it's not for the intervention of Javi Lopez. It's 2-0 for Melbourne City.
Well, the champions starting to assume control here. Adelaide have got a big problem in towards the near post. Off the head of Isaias and out for a throw. Yeah, Carl Veert just asking the question of the 4th official. How many minutes to be added on? We're into the 6th now.
Well, they seem to be supremely prepared physically. Again, Connor Metcalf strolling out to take the corner. Another incredible run out of midfield to force the pressure on the 6-yard box defending of Adelaide and win the corner.
Well, the Reds simply must defend this. Otherwise, the half-time team talk is totally different. Delianoff, good shout, good punch. And that is half-time. Fascinating first 45. The Reds were very, very good in the opening 10 or 15 minutes, but then Jamie McLaren pounced after that injury to Javi Lopez. Really took all the sting out of the Reds' forward play. Andrew Naboot with the assist, and Jamie McLaren's mini goal drought is over. That's the way it is at the break at Coopers. Adelaide United 0, Melbourne City 1. As it stands, he's the difference, as he quite often is, Jamie McLaren. His first goal of the new season. Isaias' return to South Australia is not as yet going according to plan, but that could change. Big week for City. They've got an FFA Cup tie to come against Hume City on Wednesday night. For a home game with Western United next weekend. So it is City in their changed colours who get us back underway at the start of the second half, leading as they do by a 0-0, and Andrew Naboot, who's been involved in quite a few physical tussles in the first half, gets the first free kick of the second. And the City's last 4 visits to Coopers have all ended in defeats. The free kick taken here by Metcalf, nodded sideways by Jacob Tratt and cleared by Javi Lopez. Right off the head of Scott Jamison into that stand that's being redeveloped.
Adelaide United have won the A-League Championship and the FFA Cup. Before them in the previous era, Adelaide City were a dominant team. Culture is deep and thick.
The boots ball's a good one. Berenguer trying to place it. Couldn't find a way past Delianov. City built nicely again.
Really productive game so far for Andrew Naboo. Adelaide have struggled to contain him.
Berenguer is such a neat and tidy player, halves. It's probably the one thing that's missing from his game is more goals. Here he is again. He was collected by Jakobsen. It'll break here for Naboo. With Delianov off his line, he had to make a really smart stop, the goalkeeper. The play seemed to be in slow motion there, almost in anticipation of a referee's whistle that never came. Credit to James Delianov to deny Andrew Naboo City's second. And here come the Reds at the other end. Ryan Kitto leading the charge. Beautifully timed by Nuno Reis.
Speaking of Adelaide City, that little bit of work there from Nuno Reis reminded me of the great Milan Ivanovic. What a superb piece of defending by the Portuguese man.
Here it is again. Play on waved by Daniel Elder.
It's an excellent reaction, that, Simon, isn't it, from Delianov? It's curling away from him.
Great to see the kids enjoying the football and their food. I think that hot dog's bigger than he is.
Cassini Yengi's finding it very difficult to get the ball to stick and get into the game for Adelaide. Anything that comes his way is being monstered by Nuno Reis and Curtis Good, the 2 central defenders for Melbourne City.
It's a glorious ball for Naboo. Wasn't the greatest first touch. Second wasn't bad. He bends it. What a goal! He's done it again. Andrew Naboo. Not the first time he has scored with the outside of his boot. That is an absolute peach, and it could be the killer blow for Melbourne City.
Well, Adelaide United's left side defending has been their Achilles heel. It's beautiful control, purposeful dribble, and there's more than a passing hint of the Jurgen Klinsmans about that one. What a superb finish from Andrew Naboo. Totally nailed it. Exquisite technique, wonderful purpose, perfect outcome.
Well, he's almost making this his trademark. That outside of the foot finish. By my recollection, that's the 3rd such goal he scored in the Isuzu Ute A-League Men's. Celebrations all round amongst the City fans. He's copped a bit tonight, Andrew Naboo, from the Adelaide fans. And that is the best possible response. And it's his 6th goal in 12 matches against the Reds, by far his favourite opponent. And it's a long way back now for the home team. Jamison was a deflection on it. Berenguer having a stretch. Goodwin. Yengi. Mork. Got into a good field position here, the Reds. Let's see if they can do something with it. Cavallo's cross. It'll drop here for Halloran. He'll get a corner. Decent save in the end. Off the fingertips of Tom Glover. That's probably the best Adelaide have put together in this second half.
Nice sweep left, Cavallo. This is Josh's strength to me. Receiving, dropping the ball in with a beautiful arc on the Harvey Norman replay. And Tommy Glover's it over. Important save. This stage of the game, this could have ignited a resurgence from Adelaide.
Still might. Pops out here for Isaias. Goodwin crosses a decent one, away by Nuno Reis at the near post. And finally the Reds applying a bit of pressure.
Well, it was about this stage last week, Brisbane all found themselves, put the Frighteners through Melbourne City, who in their own estimation just dropped off. I'm not suggesting there's any signs that they're going to drop off, but maybe some signs of rejuvenation from Adelaide. The young gun, Mohamed Toure.
Positive change off the bench. Calviert takes a midfielder off, Louis Dorigo, and injects an attacker in Mo Toure, who now waits along with the rest of them for Goodwin's corner. City deal with the first phase. I think it might have been O'Neill who was off balance.
He can pull a rabbit out of the hat, Mohamed Toure.
There's a bit more urgency about the Reds, maybe too much, because Goodwin has lost out and Andrew Nabout is on the charge here. He only has McLaren for support. Will he go on his own? He will, and he's not too far off, making it 3. In fact, it took a touch off a defender on the way through. It's going to be a City corner.
Gee, he's been dynamic tonight, Nabout. You think of one of his more recent trips to Adelaide United as a Melbourne Victory player. He was virtually in tears at the end of the game because of some of the chances that he couldn't quite make. And he's been one of the main differences between the teams tonight.
It's a bit hit and miss for him last week against Brisbane, but a goal and an assist tonight can't ask for much more than that. Here's O'Neill. City players coming back from offside positions. And they're ticking along towards the last quarter of an hour. And the Reds fans are desperate for their team to make a late charge.
And there's still more than enough time, 16 minutes plus stoppages.
Yengi's strength gets him away from O'Neill. Is this the moment for the Reds? It's Cassini Yengi off the post and tapped in by Stefan Mork. And Adelaide have a lifeline. The skipper leading the way, but it was Cassini Yengi's strength that did the damage for Melbourne City. Glover lost his bearings and Mork wasn't going to miss from there. 2-1.
What a sight. Cassini Yengi in full flight, and we haven't seen this at all tonight until the goal scoring moment. And as we said, great feet, good eye for goal. Glover beaten at the stretch, and then the rebound falls kindly for skipper Stefan Mork. But this is the business. Cassini Yengi in traffic, muscling up, winning the ball, determination, and then his gliding style, great dribbling technique, and a powerful shot. This is what Adelaide have missed for the last 70-odd minutes in general play. And when the big guy delivers, his team gets a dividend.
They've got a problem, Andy Harper, that they didn't think they were going to have about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but always need to guard against, don't you, Simon? Adelaide at home, and a goal changes a game. We're seeing it now completely.
Here goes Halloran with Goodwin waiting, palmed away, and Mo Toure. It's desperate stuff for City. Nuno Reis in the road, and City survive. And how a game of football can change on a goal.
And it's not that Adelaide don't deserve to get something out of this game and to enjoy some momentum. The last time which that was the case was at the very start of the game, when they came out firing all sorts of shots at Melbourne City, who were good enough to see it off and then dominate the game, get too clear. That wonderful bit of work from Cassini Yengi has breathed life into the Adelaide campaign.
It's been a really good watch.
It has. Well, for one,
now Glover's off his line, and Adelaide could make it 2-2. Here they have Absolutely unbelievable. Ben Halloran was presented with a gift that he could not refuse and simply lifted it back over the head of Tom Glover and into the net. And we are all square as we tick over into injury time. Calamity for Melbourne City. They've thrown it away. Great finish though by Halloran.
Well, I was just about to say, Ben Halloran has been on his game from the very start. But this is a monumental muck-up from Melbourne City. Maybe to concede 2 points. And when push comes to shove, Simon, this is what technique is all about. Can I drop the ball on the spot in an instant when I need to change a game? And Ben Halloran has done just that. Great awareness, superb technique, due reward for Adelaide's best tonight. What a comeback from the Reds. Ben Halloran has deserved this, and this is just exquisite, it really is. Look at the touch on that. It's like a pitching wedge in golf, but you haven't got time to set yourself. You've got to play it as it's rolling. Shirts off, corner flags busted. That's 2 yellows. And he gets to show us all his sports bra.
Well, we're into the 5th and final minutes of added time. There might just be a few more seconds because of the goal celebration and the delay in the restart. So don't be surprised if this goes to 96, 97 minutes. Daniel Elder will have the final say. City for so long, so comfortable. May have to settle for a point. Or is there a late twist? Goodwin's ball, Yangi's after it. So too is Good. It's going to be a corner. Might well be on this. The destiny of the 3 points. Paddy Kisnorbo can barely contain himself in the technical zone. Hugely frustrated as to how his team has buckled. A check of the watch from Carl Weerts. Needs a good delivery from Goodwin. And attacked by Jacob Tratt, I think. But it was straight down the throat of Glover. Either side, do you reckon the keeper's struggling a bit?
Well, it was good, purposeful contact. Glover's been good, although his part in the goal will come under scrutiny in the video review session. Very comfortable for him, but it's a good, strong header. Teasing the crowd and the coach. Have we done it?
Whistle's gone for a foul for the Reds. They want to get on with things. But there is no more. Well, what a game that was. Paddy Kisnorbo will shake hands and hug Ross Aloisi, probably through gritted teeth. His team looked to be in cruise control again. They were 2 goals to the good, just as they were against Brisbane last week through Jamie McLaren and Andrew Naboot. But a late rally from the Reds. Adelaide United 2, Melbourne City 2 is how it finished.